Yeah, the coaches were in Destin for the coaches meetings this week. Then Kirby's going to hustle on back to Athens. Of course, there are camps and official visits and all of that going on. Who are the main targets, the big players coming in?
This weekend's probably going to be one of the biggest, if not the biggest, recruiting weekend of the summer because Arch Manning is in town for his official visit. You also have Jalen Hale, who's a big friend of Arch, in town. He's a receiver that Georgia would love to have on their in their class because he is one of those kind of guys that you throw it up in the air and he just kind of finds a way to catch it no matter what. TJ Shanahan Jr. is a big 6'5", 315 offensive guard out of Austin, Texas. He's on an OV this weekend. Georgia's really been pushing hard for him, and so to get him now is a pretty big confidence booster in my opinion. You also have Caleb Downs in town, big time safety. This is his fourth visit since January. He came for the national championship celebration, had a couple of visits back in March, I believe, for spring practice, and then he'll be in town this weekend. Justice Haynes, who is Veron Haynes, the hobnail boot legend. He's back in town this weekend. That's a Georgia-Florida battle, which is kind of weird. I think he's just maybe entertaining the Gators at this point because I don't know how Veron's going to let him go to Florida when he's such a Georgia legend. Anyway, Gabe Harris, who is a Georgia commit, Pierce Spurlin, another one, Raymond Cottrell, Lawson Lucky, they're here. So those are the guys that are going to be the ones that are chatting it up with Arch, chatting it up with all these other 5 stars and 4 stars that Georgia needs to land in this class. This weekend is like the one where the momentum kind of gets put in place, where that first domino hits and then it kind of just like starts falling after. But the last couple of weeks have been really big for Georgia just in terms of recruiting because Jaden Wayne was in town at the end of May for his OV, and it's between Oregon and Georgia. And so he announced his top 5 immediately, like after getting back from Athens. And he was in town for G-Day too. So Georgia's really getting a kid from Washington State to come across country when school wasn't even over with. And so that kind of tells you just how important those visits are for him because he likes Athens. I think his dad said something about how much of a family atmosphere it was and how easy it felt to kind of feel at home versus, even though it is a cross country or, that kind of thing. And that to me is one of the biggest selling points for Georgia because while they have all the NIL deals and stuff like that, it's still more important to kind of sell the NFL draft, how Athens is a family-friendly place and that you can really feel at home. And it's kind of like your home away from home, regardless of where you come to Athens out of. And there's CJ Allen, a 3-star inside linebacker who Glenn Schumann really, really likes. And that to me is kind of speaking to what Kirby Smart is doing. Instead of trying to sign 9 or 10 5-stars, he's going out and finding, these little, not projects anymore, but kids that are high character and know that if they get to Athens, they're going to get the right kind of development that'll push them to the next level. So it's been a busy few weeks. And I think I got everybody's name in there. Oh, Sadir Mitchell, who's a big time defensive line prospect. He's been big on Georgia recently too. He was in town a couple of weeks ago, I think at the same time that Jaden Wayne was. And so that he's somebody else you need Georgia to plug in that hole because Jalen Carter could leave after this year. And to keep that elite defensive front, you need those big time guys who can plug in the holes. And then there's Tony Mitchell, who just recently announced that Texas A&M and Georgia will be getting 2 more visits too. So those are kind of the bigger guys. I think I got everybody. Yeah. But yeah, it's busy. And it's hard keeping up with it now because it is just kind of going back and forth so quickly. But I have a feeling it's fixing, the dominoes are about to fall.